Hey there, welcome back. So let me ask you something. Have you ever gotten a medical bill in the mail that made your stomach drop? Like, maybe you knew something was coming, but not exactly that big. Maybe it was from an ambulance ride you had no choice about, or tests you didn't realize weren't covered. Or maybe it was the first you even heard of it. One minute you're recovering, the next you're staring at a five-figure number wondering how the heck you're supposed to deal with it. And guess what? You're not alone. Nearly 100 million Americans carry medical debt. It's the leading cause of bankruptcy in the US, and a lot of people don't talk about it because there's this lingering shame like they did something wrong. But this kind of debt doesn't work like a car loan or a shopping spree. No one chooses it. It just shows up, and it shows up at the worst possible time. So in today's talk, we're going to walk through what you can actually do if you get hit with a medical bill you can't afford. Because the good news is you do have options. Real, concrete steps you can take. And some of them, they might surprise you. And before we go further, I'd love to know, have you ever been hit with a bill you couldn't believe? Or maybe you know someone who has. Leave a comment and share how you handled it, or what your biggest concern is. I read all of them, and your story might help someone else out there feel a little less alone. And while you're here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you find this kind of info helpful. It really helps grow this community and keeps the content coming. So let's talk about that moment. You got the bill. First thing most people feel, panic. And that's totally understandable. But the first real step is actually take a breath and read it. Not just the total, read the details. Because here's something not enough people know. Medical billing errors are super common. Like up to 80% of bills have mistakes. That could be double charges, services you didn't receive, or things being marked as out of network when they shouldn't be. So yeah, don't just accept that total as the truth. Give them a call and ask for an itemized bill. That means a line-by-line breakdown of every charge. Then use sites like Healthcare Blue Book or Turquoise Health. These let you compare costs using the same code hospitals use, called CPT codes. If something looks way off, flag it. It's your right. Now, let's say the charges are accurate. The bill is real, but it's still way more than you can handle. What do you do then? Well, first off, and this is really important, don't rush to pay it with a credit card. I know that might seem like a quick fix, but once it's on a credit card, it becomes consumer debt. That means higher interest rates, less flexibility, and it can seriously mess with your credit if you can't pay it off fast. Instead, call the hospital's billing office and ask two very specific questions. 1, do you offer charity care? And 2, can I set up a payment plan? Charity care is kind of this hidden gem most people don't even know exists. By law, nonprofit hospitals, and that's most hospitals in the US, are required to have financial assistance programs. Some will forgive part or even all of your bill if your income is under a certain amount. Let's say you make less than 400% of the federal poverty level, which for a single person is around $60,000 right now. You might qualify for serious discounts. In some cases, even if you don't technically qualify, just asking can lead to better terms. One person we spoke with said he didn't meet the income cap, but after applying, they still gave him a 0% interest plan. No pressure, no collections. And hospitals have rules too. For example, in California, they legally can't send your bill to collections or report it to credit agencies until 180 days have passed. That's 6 months where you can ask questions, apply for help, and make a plan. Speaking of plans, if you're setting one up, aim for something manageable. Experts recommend no more than 3 to 6% of your monthly income. So if you're taking home $3,000, that's about $90 to $180 a month. And if the hospital says no, call back later. Seriously, sometimes it's about who you talk to. Persistence can pay off. Okay, but what if you're dealing with a hospital that doesn't offer charity care? Or maybe it's a for-profit place and they're being strict. Well, you can still negotiate. People do it all the time. One medical debt advocate shared a story where someone got a $1,300 bill dropped down to $350 just by asking. Some places will give you 20 or 30% off if you can pay up front. And if you can't, try to get that zero interest plan again. And keep a record of everything. Who you spoke to, when, and what they said. If someone promises you something, get it in writing. Email is great for this. It's all about building a paper trail in case something changes down the line. Now, let's say worst case scenario, your bill goes to collections. It happens, but even then, you're not out of options. First thing, ask the collection agency to verify the debt. This is your legal right. Don't just start paying without seeing the details. And here's something you might not know. Under current rules, medical debts under $500 aren't reported to the credit bureaus anymore. And even larger ones, if they're paid, are removed from your credit report. That's a huge change. Also, debt collectors have to wait 180 days before they can report anything. So you still got time to work something out or even apply for help retroactively. Now, I know some people have taken another route, ignoring the debt altogether. I'm not saying that's the right call for everyone, but some people have shared with us that they stopped answering calls, threw away letters, and nothing happened. No lawsuits, no wage garnishment, nothing. The truth is, many collectors don't follow through because they're overwhelmed too. But that's a risky move. You could still get sued. And if that happens and you ignore the court date, you could get a judgment against you. Still, it does show how toothless some of these threats can be. They sound scary, but in practice, they don't always do much. And for those worried about jail, you cannot be sent to jail for unpaid medical debt. That fear is real, especially for folks new to the US system. But debtor's prison doesn't exist here. You can't go to jail for a bill. Now, if you've exhausted all that, charity care, negotiation, payment plans, there's still a few more tools. For starters, check if you're eligible for government programs like Medicaid or CHIP. A lot of hospitals won't even approve your charity application until you've applied for Medicaid first. Even if you think you won't qualify, applying and getting denied can open the door to other aid. Also, there are nonprofits like $4, the Patient Advocate Foundation, and Undo Medical Debt that can help. Sometimes they'll even buy your debt for pennies on the dollar and cancel it. It's kind of wild, honestly. Like a modern version of debt forgiveness. You don't owe them anything. They just help. And the most important thing to remember in all of this is you're not a bad person because you can't afford a hospital bill. After all, you didn't choose to get sick or injured. The system was never designed to be easy to navigate, which is exactly why so many people end up confused, overwhelmed, and alone. But you don't have to go it alone. Start by asking for help. Ask for the itemized bill. Ask about charity care. Ask for a payment plan. Ask for verification. And ask again if you need to. And maybe share what you learned with someone else. That's how we build knowledge in a system that doesn't always tell us what we're allowed to ask for. So yeah, if you're staring down a big, scary medical bill right now, take a breath. There's a way forward. It's not always fast, and it might take some phone calls and some follow-up, but it is possible. All right, if you made it this far, I really appreciate you sticking around. If this helped at all, let me know in the comments. Or share a question you still have. I'm always gathering ideas for the next one. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We're building a little corner of the internet here that's about real people, real money stuff, and real answers, without all the drama. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.